It was no coincidence that Marco Rubio's first official trip as Secretary of State was to Panama. He arrived with a warning to the country's leaders: curb Chinese influence at the Panama Canal or face consequences from the United States. The Trump administration believes the ownership of two crucial ports at the canal by the Chinese-owned company Hutchison poses a potential threat to U.S. national security. Panama immediately responded by announcing it was pulling out of China's Belt and Road program, much to the anger of the Chinese.
China firmly opposes the U.S. smearing and undermining the Belt and Road cooperation with means of pressure and coercion, and deeply regrets Panama's decision not to renew the Memorandum of Understanding.
Rubio thought he'd also got an agreement that the U.S. military would be exempt from being charged to cross the canal.
The United States has a treaty obligation to protect the Panama Canal if it comes under attack. That treaty obligation would have to be enforced by the armed forces of the United States, particularly the U.S. Navy. I find it absurd that we would have to pay fees to transit a zone that we are obligated to protect in a time of conflict.
But Panama's president is pushing back.
I didn't like it, but I'm sorry to say that I have to reject that statement from the State Department because it is based on a falsehood. At least in my book, bilateral relations between two countries, friends, and partners throughout history are not handled that way.
The tension between the two countries is creating anxiety for many Panamanians, as TRT World discovered when we reported from the country earlier this week.
We don't have any army. We just have a national police which takes care of small crimes and protests. But when we go up against a powerhouse like the US, how are we going to defend ourselves?
What would be the scale of Panamanian resistance from the Panamanian people?
None. I don't think. We don't have an army or anything, so Panamanian people, I don't think is going to do anything about it.
But Panama's uncertain time seems set to continue.